Hey kids, how you doing today? Today I'm going to talk to you about something that can be kind of confusing, and that is impeachment. So let's just start with the very basics. Impeachment is a fancy word for being removed from office or being fired. So I think we can all agree that for anybody to get fired from their job, or in our case to be impeached, it has to be a pretty big deal. And so if the president gets impeached, it's a big deal that the leader of our country is losing his or her job. So I want to explain the process of how impeachment works. Like I said, it's a big deal. So it's a two-step process to make sure that multiple branches or people are involved to limit the power of anybody, say, who just doesn't like the president, wants to kick him out of office. So the first step is done by the House of Representatives. That is the 435 members of the legislative branch. And they have to decide if what the president has done is bad enough to possibly be fired or removed from office. For example, if the president maybe gets a speeding ticket for going 5 or 10 miles over an hour, or over the speed limit, that's not good that people should speed, but is it worth the president losing his or her job because of a speeding ticket? Probably not. But if the president has done something really bad, like maybe committing a murder or a robbery, well, then maybe we should consider removing the president from office, because certainly we want our president to follow the laws of the land just like everybody else. So if the House of Representatives decides yes, that what the president has done is worthy of maybe being removed from office, the process continues on to the Senate. And the Senate actually holds the trial of the impeachment process. And so the senators are like the jury, and they decide and they vote if what the president has done is worth being removed from office. And instead of having a judge like you normally would in a trial lead the case or the goings on of the courtroom, it is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court who rules over this court. And right now, our Chief Justice is John Roberts. So again, it's a two-step process. The House of Representatives first decides if the president has done something that is worthy of moving on to the trial step of the process. And then if they decide yes, the Senate actually holds the trial, and then they decide yes or no. And if they decide no, that the president is not worthy of being kicked out of office, then he's not or she is not, and life goes on for the president. If they decide that yes, the president has done something so bad that he or she should be kicked out of office, well, then they're kicked out of office, and the vice president becomes president. Let's see, a couple, examples of impeachment that our country has had to deal with. So back in 1974, President Richard Nixon was almost put through the impeachment process. If you've ever heard of the Watergate scandal, that's what he was involved in. Basically, he was involved in a conspiracy and covering up an investigation at the federal level, and you can't do that. That's really bad. And he was going to be impeached, but he decided to resign from office, meaning he quit before the impeachment process took place. So he was actually never impeached. He just quit before that could happen. The next example of when a president went through the impeachment process is with President Bill Clinton in 1998. Now, Bill Clinton is kind of a unique situation because what he was accused of was high crimes and misdemeanors. And that's kind of a hard definition, because what one person thinks might be a misdemeanor and high crime, another person might not. But enough people felt that what he had done was bad enough that he was going to go through the impeachment process. So in short, what he did was he lied under oath. Like, your hand is in the Bible and you say, I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. He lied under oath. And they said, hey, our president shouldn't be lying to the public. And so they said, yeah, he should go through the impeachment process. Now, the House of Representatives did find that, yes, him lying under oath was bad enough that he should continue through to the next step in the process. And when the Senate held their trial, they decided that what Bill Clinton had lied about was not actually that bad and that he did not deserve to be removed from office for lying under oath. The next example is very recently with President Donald Trump in 2019. So his accusations were abuse of power and obstruction of justice. And it's very similar to what happened with Bill Clinton in 1998, where the House of Representatives felt that what Donald Trump had been accused of, this abuse of power and obstruction of justice, was bad enough that he should move on to the Senate's part of the process. But when the Senate did their trial, they decided, just like with Bill Clinton, that no, what he had done, or at least been accused of doing, was not worthy of him being removed from office. So that, in short, is what the impeachment process is. So it's a two-step process. The House of Representatives decides if the president is worthy of impeachment, and then the Senate takes over from there, and they actually decide. I just thought I would add one more thing. The reason that the Senate does the trial is because there's an even number of representatives from each state. There's 2 per state, as we discussed earlier. So that way, any single state does not have more votes than another in determining if the president should be in office or not. Because that would really be unfair if, say, California, with 55 members in the House of Representatives, had a role and a larger voice in determining if the president stayed in office or not. So that is why the Senate makes the official, decision, because they have an even number from each state. And I guess that's it. Thank you very much.